So how do you spot autism? Here are 5 simple autism traits that I'm going to share with you that you should definitely look out for. All that coming up. Hey guys, welcome back to the Ask Me world. My name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia, and I make weekly videos on this type of content. So if you're new around here and you'd like to learn more about those topics, remember to hit that subscribe button by clicking the notification bell down below. And if you're watching on Facebook, be sure to give this page a like and a follow to see more videos just like this one. And if you're watching over on Instagram, be sure to give this account a follow and put the notifications on so you see all the daily content I upload on autism. Super awesome. Okay guys, what's going on? Whew. Super awesome to have you here. If you haven't already, you must download my free Autism Hacks book. I have made a PDF book all about autism life hacks, which I'm giving to you for free. So if you are able to click the card above here on YouTube, you can definitely download that book, and it will also be on the end slate. Now, if you are watching on Facebook, be sure to give the link in the description a click, and you can download that book. And if you're watching on Instagram, the link for this book will be in my Instagram bio. You can't miss it. Awesome, guys. Right, so what's up, different thinkers? Welcome back to the Ask Me world, where we think differently daily. Which is kind of like a cool tagline. I thought, that's not cool. I just blow my own trumpet. I just like using it because it's true. We think differently daily. And hopefully in this video, I'll get you to kind of think a little bit differently about how you see stuff, which is pretty dope. So I've done many videos on trying to like identify autism in people. How do you characterize autism in people? How do you see it in people? Because it's an interesting thing to talk about. You know, you could just be somebody who works with someone and you think they may be autistic. So how do you spot that? And this is exactly what this video is about. So I've listed out 5 of the main ones that I think would be helpful for you to try and identify autism. If you suspect somebody may be on the spectrum, just for your own peace of mind, or if you're trying to help somebody and you want to investigate it, then yeah, you could definitely help and learn this stuff. And yeah, right, let's get into it. Okay, so the first one is lack of eye contact. Now, lack of eye contact is such a common autism trait. It's due to the fact that an autistic person finds it super difficult to make eye contact and maintain eye contact with people. It's because it feels awkward. It's a social connection. There's something, it's difficult to do. I can't really explain it in any other way. I did do a video all about autism and eye contact, and I'll try and link it in the description down below so you can check that out. But in terms of eye contact, it's very difficult to do. And people on the autism spectrum will just kind of not look at you. They'll just like look past you or look at your forehead or just look at the floor. Okay, so number 2 is unusual speech patterns. Now, people with an autism spectrum disorder usually will display patterns of speech when speaking sentences, but they'll be unusual. You know, they may talk as if you already know what they're talking about. They may just come right out and say like, oh yeah, he did that last Tuesday. And you're like, what on earth are you talking about? We're not even talking about anybody. We're eating ice cream right now. And that is because the person on the spectrum is relaying a conversation in their head that they may have had months ago, weeks ago, or even a year ago, and they're relaying that conversation, and they finally got to the part where they want to put their input, and this is their input. It happens all the time. I randomly laugh out loud, just like all the time. My girlfriend's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I just remember this joke that I was told like 2 months ago. And so yeah, unusual speech patterns is definitely something to look out for when dealing with people on the autism spectrum. So you'll notice this very quickly. Okay, so number 3 is zoning out. Well, actually it's not really zoning out, it's actually zoning in, but it seems like from the outside that the person who in question, maybe on the autism spectrum, is zoning out of the world around them, right? And this is due to the fact that the person on the autism spectrum is hyper-focusing and really focusing and concentrating on something, like zoning into something of their specific kind of interest. They may be, you know, finding this little hinge on the back of this, you know, iPad, the AirPod Pros is really interesting, and they're just hyper-focusing on it. And when they do that, they become so focused on it that everything else becomes just blacked out. You could be calling the name for hours and then just be like, oh, looking at this thing. It doesn't mean that they're zoning out of the world, they're actually zoning into something. So this is very common because often you might hear that people say, oh, autistic people live in a world of their own. And what they actually mean is that autistic people are zoning into this thing, this you know, they're zoning out of what they can see as the typical world around them, reality, I guess. Okay, so number 4 is not understanding jokes. This is a very big one. My friends kick my butt about this all the time. They make up like things to like sarcastic jokes and all this kind of rubbish just to get one over on me, just because they're horrible. So big shout out to the guys in the band. Thanks a lot, guys. Oh yeah, my band's called Straight Jacket Legends. You can check us out at ianbeal.com. But anyway, not understanding jokes is very common. Autistic people take things literally. So when you say jokes, that joke is perceived as literal information when you are relaying that to an autistic person. So if you know somebody who you think may be autistic and they're not getting your jokes all the time, well, this is why. Autistic people take things literally. They're not able to differentiate between the joke and what's real, unless they really know you really well. But even then, it could become quite a struggle. Okay, so number 5 is the obsessive interest. Now, this is probably one of the most obvious ones. Obsessive interest is something that autistic people do. Just everyone I know on the autism spectrum has an obsessive interest. They're obsessed with certain things. Like some guy I know is obsessed with Marilyn Monroe. I'm really into like conspiracy theories, and I love Fight Club, and I love like social digital media marketing and all that kind of stuff. And when someone is obsessed with that, they will talk about it 24/7. They will talk about it non-stop if you ask them about it. It's the only thing they will talk about. It's the only thing they will do to relax is study their specific topic. They'll collect everything on it. They'll read everything on it. They'll visit the places about that thing. It's like it engulfs their entire being. That's what it's like having an obsessive interest or a special obsessive interest on the autism spectrum. Now, if you think this video was awesome, please give it a thumbs up. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you think it can give value to somebody. And also, don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment because I read every single one. If you have anything to add, I'll see you next time, guys.